we'll go ahead and get started. So you need a strap if you have one, if not a towel, and a yoga block if you have one, and if not, your water bottle will work great. So we'll get started in a seat this morning, and you can be in any comfortable seat that you want, sitting on your heels, sitting between your heels, sitting cross-legged. So whatever feels most comfortable to you. Balances, perfect. We're actually going to do some balances today. Lovely. All right. So coming into that seat, hey Allison, Eileen, coming into that seat, sitting up nice and tall, letting the eyelids get heavy, maybe letting them close, and take a few moments to just roll your shoulders back. And then roll your shoulders forward. And before we get into stillness, doing a few more little movements, roll the chin to one shoulder and then to the other. So you're making kind of these two little 1/4 of a circle circles. Do that a few more times, stretching the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. And then take your chin to your chest for a moment. Feel your shoulders pulling down. And then drop the head back so you open up the front of the throat. And one more time. Inhale, chin down. And exhale, chin up. And then just come to a neutral stacking of the head over the shoulders. And finding some relaxation. You might hear my cats. Hopefully they aren't too disturbing. It's always a nice way to practice yoga if there's some chaos going on around you, to find that sense of inner stillness and inner peace. So this morning I'd love for you to focus on one part of your body, sort of taking your mind's eye to that place. Just to give you an example, for me, it's my right hip flexors have been feeling really tight. So I'm taking my mind's eye to that place. Hopefully you have some place in your body that maybe needs a little extra love or attention. And as silly as it might sound, I want you to begin to breathe some deep, full breaths into that place. And so you can imagine that every inhale breath, you're actually breathing air into that space that you're focused on. And every exhale breath, you're pulling air out of that space. So it becomes this sort of cycle of filling up, sending attention and care to a place in your body that maybe needs it, and then releasing some of that tension through your exhale. You don't need to breathe in any special way right now. A few more rounds like this. And taking that attention away from the part of the body that you are trying to kind of fill up, and start to just tap into that breath. We'll begin by inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhale, exhale. And then find your own cadence of breath. And you may choose to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. You may choose to take your Ujjayi breath by closing the mouth and constricting the throat. And however you're breathing, take 5 more breaths like this. Maybe you settle into an intention for the rest of the time we have on the mat. And then we'll start to move with this breath. You could choose to open your eyes or close them. And we'll begin to just circle that body. And you can go in either way. We're taking movement that we often take in all fours this morning in a seat. And then taking it to the other direction. And these don't need to be like any special types of circles. I just want you to start to feel your spine warming up and your rib cage, getting a little bit of movement in the hips and the shoulders. The next time you come to the back, we'll find a cow. Pull the belly forward, pull the chest forward, drop the head back. And then exhale, round in. This is your cat, tucking your chin. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, closing off. Last time, think about the inhale as a stretch for the front of the torso. And think about the exhale as a stretch for the back. And coming into a neutral spine, swim the right arm over to the right, reach your left arm overhead. And maybe turn that head to look down and to look up. And then using your exhale breath, coming over to the other side. So just really extending through that side body. And depending on what you've been doing this week, this might feel incredibly intense and good, or maybe it feels not so intense but still nice. And then bringing yourself up, we'll take a twist going over the right shoulder. Left hand can hold your thigh, right hand can go behind you. Inhale to get a little bit taller. Remember, twists are all about keeping the spine tall, and then we twist from there. One more inhale. And then exhale, unravel it, take it to the other side. Anchor your hands in a way that makes sense for you. Inhale, get really, really tall. And then thinking about your hips staying forward and your ribs starting to turn to the back. One more big inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. And we'll lift onto the knees. If you need a little extra padding, you can roll your mat up. We'll stretch that right leg out to the side, and we'll take the left fingertips to the ground. And for a moment, just stacking that top arm over the bottom arm. So this is a version of side plank in its kind of simplest form. Now we'll add a little more balance challenge, grounding the bottom hand, lifting the top leg. From here, reach that top arm overhead. Hopefully you have enough space. If you don't, you can bend the limbs a little bit. And then we'll intentionally pull the elbow to the knee. So this is similar to our bird dog in all fours. And then inhale, extend. So getting into that side body, exhale, pull it into that deep crunch. And then inhale, push it out. One more time, exhale, pull it in. And inhale, push it out. From here, a little quad stretch. Bend that leg. Grab a hold of the ankle or shin and pull your heel really close to your butt cheek. You should feel a really nice opening in the psoas and the quads. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly, gently release. Put some weight into that straight leg foot and then tip your body over to that side. Gate pose, it's another side body stretch. Taking one more big breath here. And then bringing yourself up, and we'll do all of that to the other side. So switching sides, extending through that left leg. We'll start away from the straight leg, grounding the bottom hand, trying to stack the bones of the top arm over the bottom arm. Take a moment to really just drill down with what's connected to the mat. And then we lift that straight leg, bringing that top arm all the way overhead, finding some length. Exhale to crunch, pulling the elbow and the knee, maybe they touch. And then inhale to open out. Exhale, pull it in. Find that rounding. Inhale, stretch it out. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Take that straight leg foot to the mat. Lift yourself up and you stretch towards the leg. Getting into that side body. Filling the shape with breath. One more round of inhale. And then exhale, come on out of it. We'll make our way to down dog. So tucking those toes, lifting the knees and hips, starting to pedal things out, bending one knee, bending the other knee, opening yourself up. Hello, 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 everyone. Good to see you all. Starting to shake the head yes and shake the head no. And if you want to turn on the playlist, I linked it in the main True Family page in the comments, and it's hopefully a nice kind of way to wake up. Nothing too crazy in the musical selection today. From here, inhale, lift the heels high, roll the body forward to plank. Drop the knees underneath the hips, cow pose, pull the belly down with the heart. Exhale, cat. Keep the rounding in your spine, but tuck the toes and hover the knees. And then lift the hips up. We're in a shorter down dog. You may be able to drop your heels all the way down. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Grabbing one hand to the opposite elbow, find some shakes here. This is our forward fold ragdoll that's really meant to feel heavy and easy. You can have your knees bent, and you can sway and bounce however you want. From here, quiet the body, hands on the shins, inhale. Push the hands into the shins. See if you can lengthen both your back and your legs. And then exhale, bend your knees and easy forward fold. 2 more times. Inhale. Find the energy in the spine and the legs, and then let it go. Get heavy. 1 more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Wiggle the feet. If they're too wide, wiggle them underneath the hips. Bend the knees and slowly roll up. Your head is heavy, your arms are heavy. And when you get all the way up, bring the hands to the low back. Push the hips forward, lift the heart. So really kind of gentle, supported back bend. And then lift yourself all the way up and bring your arms by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive the torso over the legs. And you could have bent knees here if you need. Inhale, half lift. And then we'll walk ourselves out to plank. And taking this plank as a moment to just ground through the hands. If, like me, you need to move a little bit, feel free to move through the legs or the hips or even the hands and shoulders. And just start to find your breath here. Finding that balance that we have in yoga between effort, which is the plank shape, and ease, which is the breath. 1 more round of breath here. And then lift your hips, down dog. Inhale, roll forward back to plank. Gently lower the knees, pull them under the hips. Inhale, cow, just like we did before. Exhale, cat. Keep the cat, tuck the toes, hover the knees. Slowly lift the hips. Again, we're in that short version of down dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. And grab your strap or your towel. Doing a little bit of chest opening in our forward fold. Like we do in the studio, you don't need something super long for this. You just need to hold something between both hands behind your back. So, like that. Head drops, shake it yes, shake it no. And then take the hands up. Try to straighten through your elbows as much as you can without locking them out. And then take those hands up and over towards your head. So try to pull them away from your back. Almost like they're going towards the mat in front of you. Inhale, half lift. Keep the hands with the strap. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more times. Knees could be bent. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. 1 more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Roll yourself up. Eventually, you'll come into a back bend where the strap is pushing down to the floor as your heart lifts. And then bring yourself up. You can let go of that strap, that towel. Bring the arms by the sides. Take a moment in your mountain pose. Feel your feet on the earth. See if you can even spread all 10 of your toes. It's harder than it looks. And then from that rooted place, we lift up. It's almost like we all think about getting an inch or two taller through the front of the legs, through the spine, through the neck, and all the while the fingers are reaching down, the collarbone is broad, the shoulders relax. Take a deep breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, big fold forward. Once again, we'll walk to the front of the mat, plank pose. Going through our first vinyasa. So find some stillness and plank. Push into the hands, zip the belly in, reach the heels back. And then shift the body weight forward. We'll start knees, chest, chin. So drop the knees. Bend the elbows through chaturanga and come down chest and chin. So there's this little kind of lift of the butt that happens. And then we slither out into a flat body. Inhale, push into the feet and the hands, low cobra. Remember, this isn't a very big back bend. It's meant to be small, hence the name low. Come on back down. Push into your hands, come onto your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. Walk the feet together and then begin to heel toe. It's kind of an odd way to walk, but we're heel toeing in a forward fold to come to the top of the mat. Hands on the shins, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, nothing fancy. We push through the feet, we reach out, we reach up. Palms come overhead, and then hands pull to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it over. We'll go through 2 more sun A's. Inhale, half bend. Plant the palms and step to plank. Again, find that sense of effort and ease, the 2 things that live in this shape. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Remember, you want to stop halfway. From here, you can lower all the way down for cobra or roll over the feet for up dog. Exhale, hips high, down dog. Feet come together. Once again, we walk forward, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Try your best. Hands on the shins, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand tall, reach out, reach up. Maybe a small back bend. And then hands to prayer at the chest. One more time, the sun salutation A. Really nice way to wake up in the morning. So even, and say you roll out of bed and you want to do something for 10 minutes. This is a really nice thing to do to gradually wake up. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Open the collarbone. Exhale, down dog. We'll take a moment in this down dog, really feeling that sense of lift in the hips, of the ribs pulling together, and then the hands and the feet reaching down. So the arms get long, the legs get long. Inhale, right leg lifts. Square off the hips. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, roll forward into plank. So working a little bit of strength. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale again, right knee into the chest, roll forward. One more time. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step all the way through low lunge. Remember, in low lunge, the back knee is down. The front knee is over the ankle. Grab that towel or strap. This time we'll hold the towel or strap, same between the hands, but in front of the body. We'll inhale to pull the hips back a little bit, and then drop the hips down and lift the arms overhead. 2 more times like that. So we're actually moving back in space a bit, and then pushing down and forward in space. One more time. Inhaling back. Exhaling forward. Taking a moment more in this back bend, and it could be a really slight back bend. And then come out of the back bend, but keep the lunge. So think really about activating the belly a little more and coming upright. Back toes are tucked in from here, pushing into high lunge. Head forward, strap forward, power lunge. Can you lift that back knee and thigh a little more? So it doesn't feel like everything is being held by the front leg. The back leg is doing some work too. One more breath here. And then rotate to the left leg, goddess squat. You still have your strap or your towel overhead. Your toes have turned out. Your heels have turned in, and you're just finding a little bit of a shimmy in the hips. Take an inhale to straighten the legs. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Exhale, pull back down, goddess squat. Again, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, take it down. One more time, inhale. Exhale, coming into more of a stretch. Ditch the strap, elbows or hands to the inner thighs. And just take a moment to feel the weight of the arms helps you to open your hips a little. And And then we'll crawl back to the front of the mat. Locate your water bottle or your block. I'm going to use my block today as my balance tool. Take that object about 1.5 to 2 feet in front of your right big toe. We're going to work balance today kind of from simpler to more complex. So we're just going to start simple now. One hand and then the other on this object. Don't put too much weight there because your object may not be super stable. Push down into the hands and lift that left leg up. Warrior 3. So doing this with the hands on the object helps you to square your hips and really focus on, is my left leg straight? You want it to be. Is that foot really engaged? Is my right leg either straight or bent, but is that foot feeling firm on my mat? And then from here, you can test your balance even more by bringing the hands to prayer. Know that you can always keep the hands on that block or that water bottle. Take one more deep breath here. And then we'll amp up the balance challenge. Bend the left knee, pull the body up, one-legged mountain. Lift your fingers to the ceiling. Can you pull your left knee a little bit higher? And then open that knee out to the side, find your tree. It doesn't have to be a thigh tree today. It could be a calf tree or an ankle tree. We'll reach the arms up. Think about not only pushing the foot into the standing leg, but the standing leg into the foot. So there's that equal and opposite action. And we have a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Can you get taller? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, 2 feet to the ground. Palms together. Baby, baby back bend. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Step back to down dog. So not vinyasa, we'll go to the left leg first. Inhale, left leg lifts. That three-legged dog. Again, I'm square in my hips. All of these poses have been super square hips so far. Then bring the left knee into the chest as you roll forward, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, three-legged plank. Your shoulders are doing a lot of work. One more time. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, three-legged plank. And then step the foot between the hands, lower the right knee. Back to that low lunge. You can untuck the toes for now. Just know that you'll want them tucked when we come to high lunge. Grab that strap, that towel. Same pattern of movement. We'll inhale to pull the weight back and lift that object over the head. And then we'll exhale to keep the object overhead but drop the hips forward. So there's a hip flexor stretch. There's also a back bend here. Pull yourself back. And then exhale, drop your hips forward. One more time. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, drop it forward. Release that back bend. Pull the belly in. If you have the toes untucked, tuck the back toes now. Think about pressing straight up. So you really want to activate your inner thighs and your outer thighs so that this doesn't feel too wobbly. Tipping the body weight forward, finding that power lunge. Notice if your shoulders have shrugged up to the ears. Can you keep the shoulders the same distance from the ears as you had them without the strap? Take one more breath here. And then we'll turn towards that back leg for that goddess squat. Once again, the arms are overhead. We're doing a little bit of shimmy in the hips, and I will turn to face you guys for this one. Inhale, straighten the legs, lifting up. This time a little different. Parallel the toes forward, still widen the feet, and find a flat back with that strap. Strap reaches forward, hips reach back. If you need to bend the knees, please bend the knees. Take a deep breath in. Breath out, diagonal the torso down. You don't have to touch the floor with your hands at all. You can if you want. But you're creating this lengthening spine from hips to fingers. Take a deep breath in. Breath out. Lift yourself all the way back up. Push through the feet, push through the feet, push through the feet. And then heels and toes out. Ditch your strap. Take that stretchy version of your goddess. Hands or elbows to the thighs. If you want to take the shoulder stretch, go for it. We have a little bit more time here, so do what you need to do in this shape. All right, yogis, we'll turn to the front of the mat again. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Fingers are on the ground. Once again, we'll take it to that warrior three with our object, our block or our water bottle first. So the right leg is the one that's back. The left leg is the one that's forward. Take your hand to that object. Make sure that your standing toes, your left toes are pointed directly forward, and then shift your body weight. Square right hip. Push out through that right heel. So the more active your lifted leg is, the easier the balance becomes because your body is involved in the shape. Take one more breath here. Maybe the hands come to prayer. They don't have to. And then roll up one-legged mountain. Your right knee pulls up. Your fingers reach up. Open the right knee out. Find your tree. Remember, it doesn't have to be at your inner thigh. It can be below the knee. Once again, we'll reach the arms up. And this time, if you want, you can turn your head in a different way just to challenge your balance, finding your breath. Let tree go, 2 feet to the ground, hands to prayer overhead, baby, baby back bend. And then chair pose, sit low, reach the arms back. Push through the feet, lift the left leg, one-legged mountain. Start to kick that left leg forward. Maybe it gets fully straight, maybe it doesn't. It's fine either way. And then come back to chair, airplane arms. Sit low, reach back. One-legged mountain, right knee lift. So it's almost like as your arms lift, they lift your knee as well. Finding your balance, kick that right leg forward. And then coming back to chair, airplane the arms. Push through the feet, reach the hands overhead, little back bend. Exhale, fold over. Now we'll take that vinyasa. Inhale, half lift. Plant the palms, go through your flow. And if you're not feeling your vinyasa this morning, that's fine. You can always go from plank to down dog right away. When you get to down dog, taking a few breaths just to feel back into the shape. The sense of rooting and lift that live in the shape together. And then we'll bring that right leg up to the sky. This time, bend the knee, open the hip. So now we're intentionally opening that hip. Keep the knee bent, bring the right knee forward to the right arm. Inhale again, knee bent, hip open. Exhale, right knee, right arm. Last time, inhale, three-legged dog with a bent knee. Exhale, three-legged plank. And then step the right foot between the hands, drop the left heel, warrior two. So opening things up a bit here. You may want to drop the hips down a little bit more, but just make sure that this right knee isn't really far over the toes. It stays stacked over the ankle, and then sweep the arms out. We'll inhale to sit a little bit lower. You want to feel your legs. Front palm flips to the ceiling. Back hand rests on the back leg as you tip your weight up and back, reverse warrior. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Get a little bit deeper in the stretch. And then exhale, side angle. We'll start really simply, right arm on the leg, left arm overhead. If you tend to let this arm kind of hang out and be really loosey-goosey, think about reaching through the middle finger. You want the line of energy going diagonally from the middle finger, down the arm, down the waist, down the leg to the outer foot. Take one more breath here. And then working some more balance. Top hand to the hip. Look at the ground. Looking at the ground always helps with balance, just as a simple little tool. Locate your object. Water bottle or block. It's still about 1.5 feet, 2 feet in front of your right big toe. Make sure your right big toe is pointing forward. If it's turned in, this is not going to work out so well. So point it forward. Shift your weight until that right hand is on the object. Push down from there and then lift that left leg. And for this half moon, unlike warrior three, you want your hips stacked. So you'll be facing the side of the mat. And if this feels good, similar to warrior three, maybe you take your top arm up. Maybe take bottom hand to a little half prayer at the chest. Keep pushing out through that lifted foot. Take one more breath here. And then gentle release, warrior two. And if it wasn't so gentle, that's fine. Inhale, straighten the right leg. This time reach back, reverse triangle. Exhale, windmill the hands, lift the back heel, go through your flow. And remembering that flow, just like all yoga, is about your breath, your connection to your breath and how you're moving. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the head, and then exhale, come forward. Left leg, left arm. Inhale, bent knee, three-legged dog. Exhale, three-legged plank. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot steps between the hands. Right heel drops towards the center of the mat. Open out to that big, bold warrior two. Do your form checks. Bone stacking in the front leg. Long and strong in the back leg. Pushing into that back foot. Once you get set, arms reach nice and wide. Can you sit a little bit lower? Inhale, flip the front palm, reach up and back. Letting that backhand rest on the leg. We have a few breaths here to just really get into the side body stretch. Next, exhale, side angle, allowing your left arm to rest on your thigh. Right arm overhead. Remember again, you want that length in the arm just like in the back leg. Pushing into that back foot. One more round of breath. And then our assisted half moon balance. Right hand to the hip. Look where you're going, which is down and forward. Left hand to that object. Your left toes are pointing to that object as well. Lift the right leg. Opening out to the long side of the mat. Find the bone stacking now. Right hip over left. Right shoulder over left. Maybe the right arm swims up to the ceiling. Maybe the left hand comes to that half prayer. One more round of breath. Bend the left knee, step it back. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands down. Move through your flow. And before we go into another round of these sun bee flows, take 3 to 5 breaths in any shape you want. This is a great chance to hydrate. Great chance to come back to that intention. Maybe it's kind of where your mind's at right now or where you want your mind to be at for the day. All right, we'll make our way back to down dog. If you're not already there, as always, you can pedal through the feet, bend through the knees, do what you need to, shake out the head. And we'll zip the legs together, lift the heels high, pin the knees, look forward. This time you can step or hop to the top of the mat. Hands on the shins, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Push through the feet, reach out, reach up, lift, lift, lift. Arms by the sides, mountain pose. Just like we did when we were in this shape maybe like 15, 20 minutes ago, feel your feet on the earth and then find that sense of lifting up from there. It's a simple pose, but a good one. Maybe your eyes close for a moment. And you have 2 rounds of breath on your own. Next, inhale, hands to prayer chair pose. We're not coming into a twist, so you can keep your feet wider versus narrower if you want. We'll be working balance again just from a different starting point to kind of challenge the brain. So make sure in that vein that your belly is turned on. So you're not dumping everything into your back. Your back feels supported. Your legs feel really sturdy and buoyant, and your arms are just here kind of resting at the chest. Weight gets into the right foot, and you lift the left foot just an inch, half an inch, 2 inches off the ground. So we're in a single leg squat. It shouldn't feel very comfortable. It might feel challenging for the right foot. Stay with me for 2 more breaths. And then we come into warrior 3 from here. See if you can keep the thumbs at the sternum and push the left leg back until it gets straight. Your choice if you keep the right knee bent like it was in chair or if you straighten your bottom leg. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Coming into half moon from here. This is where you probably will want your object. Right hand on the object, pushing down in the right foot to open that left hip. So now the left hip bone faces the side of the mat. So does the chest. Maybe that left arm lifts up really high. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Chair pose, come back, 2 feet to the ground. Recalibrate thumbs to the sternum. We'll do that same sequence to the other side. Keeping your eyes really zoned in on the floor will help a lot. Weight in the left foot, hover the right foot. We're just working what it feels like without getting too high off the ground to have all of the weight in one leg. Now we push that right foot back. The right leg does want to get straight. Let it get straight. Left leg is up to you. Bottom leg could be bent or straight. Right hand to the hip. Left hand to your block or water bottle. Start to open your right hip. Open your right side of the chest. Left toe stay pointing to your block, your water bottle. Take one more breath here. Maybe that top arm reaches up. And then come on back to chair. Hands to prayer, drop the hips. Inhale, standing back bend. Push the hips forward, lengthen through the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Move through your flow. So new flow, different than the other two. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, keeping the hips square. We'll internally rotate. Take a twist. Right knee to the left arm. Swim it back up. Straighten the right leg. Exhale, right knee to the left arm. Drop your hips for plank here. Inhale, lift up. Three-legged dog. Last time, exhale for the twist. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale, step that right foot forward. Easy twist. Left hand will stay down, but left knee is off the ground. Right arm peels to the ceiling. Take an inhale to sweep the right arm back, like somebody is pulling your hand towards them. And then exhale, bring that right arm back over the left. One more time. Inhale, right arm reaches to the back of the mat. Exhale, right arm up to the ceiling. Spin the right hand down inside of the right foot. Drop the left heel, push into that foot, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. 2 more like this. So we're getting a little bit of that movement and flow in the waist, but the legs get to stay steady and still. One more time. Taking balance in a different way with 2 feet on the ground. Left hand to the hip. If you want to use your block or water bottle, you can bring it underneath your right hand, or you can press the back of your right hand into your right calf. Start to straighten that right leg as you pull the hips back. So triangle pose. We're still open, just like our side angle, just like our half moon. And once again, it's that bone stacking that's so popular in yoga. Taking that left hand, that top arm, over the bottom arm. Notice that you're not locking out and hyperextending through your knees, so a little bend if that is you. But we're also trying to get the legs straight. So if your knees are really bent here, it's a different pose. You won't get the sensation that we're looking for as much. You want to really zip the legs up, push through the feet. One more breath. And then we'll square the torso off, slide the back foot in for pyramid. And you can move that water bottle, that block out of your way. We'll bring the hands to the hips. So this is where the balance challenge comes in, even though we have 2 feet on the ground. We're lifted up about halfway. Our back is really flat. Our hips are square. So if it's hard for you to get the hips square, shorten your stance, try again. And from here, we'll inhale to push through the feet and stand up. Bring the hands behind the back. It could be prayer behind the back or just holding your forearms with your opposite hand. Inhale, push through the feet, little bit of a back bend. Think more about lifting the chest away from the ribs. And then exhale, come back to your flat back. Pyramid pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more round of breath. And then we'll take this right hand to the hip, left hand to that object, block, water bottle. Pushing down with the left hand, and this is inside of the right foot, we'll rotate the right elbow up. Revolve triangle. You can stay here. You can reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Just make sure the hips stay square. It's an odd sensation in the body. It should feel like a pretty deep stretch for your IT band, for the outer hip. Take one more breath. And then bring that right hand to the mat. Move your object, left hand to the mat. Slide your left foot back. And then step into plank. Move through your flow. One more side with this flow. Left leg lifts. Hips are square, legs are straight. And then bend the left knee as you twist to the right arm. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale that twisted plank. One more time, inhale. Exhale for the twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step the left foot forward, right hand to the mat, easy twist. So think about, again, stacking the top arm over the bottom, like keeping the legs and the hips where they were. Legs are strong, hips are pretty low. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll inhale to take that left arm to the back of the mat, so just getting a little bit of a stretch, and then exhale overhead. One more time, inhale, arm goes back. Exhale, arm comes up. Left hand to the inside of the left foot, drop the right heel, ever popular warrior two. Our dancing warrior, warrior two legs, reverse to side angle, inhale, reach back. Exhale, reach forward. Two more times. And if you really focus here on moving with the breath, it does become kind of that quality of a moving meditation where your mind is able to settle. Staying here, if you used your blocker water bottle for a triangle on the first side, grab it again. Stack that top arm over the bottom. Start to straighten your bottom leg. Coming into that triangle pose, again, it's kind of a delicate balance between straight legs but not locked knees. You want to feel both feet, especially the back foot, rooting down. And then the long legs lift from there. Take one more breath. Bring the chest square to the front leg. Scooch that back foot in, and you can move your block out of the way for the time being. You want to make sure that your left foot and right foot are not in a tightrope line. They're in more train track, so there's space between the insides of the feet. The back toes are slightly turned out. Take your hands to your hips when you're ready and feel into that squareness. And if this is a challenge, again, shortening the stance should make it feel a little more comfortable. Drive through the feet, lift yourself all the way up. Hands behind the back, that reverse prayer or the elbow grab. Inhale, lift the chest away from the belly. And then think about pulling the belly to the spine, reaching the head out. Keeping that length, stopping when you get to that flat back, and breathing here. Revolve triangle. Right hand to the ground or the object, left hand to the hip. Start to spin the body up to the left. Remember that you can stay here and your hips haven't spun or moved. It's really just the upper body. Maybe your left arm lifts. Maybe you take that half bind behind the back. Rooting through the feet, lifting through the legs, finding your breath. And then slowly coming out of it. Left hand down, move the object, right hand down, step to plank, go through that flow. From down dog, one more set of standing poses, and then we'll take it all to the ground. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Step or float, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Push through the feet, reach up, reach up, reach up. Arms by the sides. Take a moment, feel your feet on the ground. Feel the top of your head reaching away from the ground. 2 rounds of breath. Okay, shake it on out. So this is where the towel or the strap could come in handy. I'll demo with this object just so you know if you're feeling pretty adventurous and or open in your hamstrings and back today, you can take your hand to your big toe for the next few poses. You can face any direction on your mat that you want. We'll start with the strap around the left foot or the first 2 fingers of the left hand between the left big toe and the left first foot. So lifting that leg up, we'll start with the bent knee just so you can feel stable on your right side. And then start to kick that left leg out. If you are doing the finger to toe, try not to fold forward. So if you feel like in order to do that, you have to fold forward, use your strap or your towel today. Keeping everything the same, strap will be held with the left hand, right hand to the hip, open that left leg out to the side. Nothing has changed in your hips or how you're standing. You just open that left leg out. That's it. Take one more breath here. And then bring that leg back center. We're going to switch hands. Right hand to the strap or the foot. Left hand to the hip. Start to look to the left. Maybe start to look back. If this feels good, left hand can come behind you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Ooh, shake it out. Let it go. Roll that standing ankle, stretch that standing leg however you need to. Maybe a quick little figure 4. Okay, hopefully that went well. And if it didn't, you have a second side to try. So standing on the left foot, now we get to do our right foot, which for most of us is our dominant side. Bending that right knee, lifting it up. Again, before you do anything else, just hanging out here. Feeling the stability in the standing leg, which is what a lot of this is about. And then you start to kick slowly, finding that hamstring extension. Again, if you have your fingers around your toe and you're in this sort of weird forward fold, you may want to use a strap or a towel instead. Keeping everything the same, strap in the right hand, left hand to the hip, open that right leg out. We're just abducting that leg away from the body. Nothing else has changed, ideally. And then we come back to center for the twist. Switching the hands. Right hand to the hip. Start to turn your gaze at least to the side. Maybe it also goes back. And then feel free to reach that right arm back and just see what happens. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. And then exhale, come on back to center. Let that strap go, shake it out. We have one more vinyasa and then coming on to our backs. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, big forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant your palms, go through your flow. Again, it's our last vinyasa of class. So maybe that means that you slow it down and you really connect to the sensations that you feel in each shape. Then from here, we'll gently lower the knees. And coming to stand on the knees. We'll take camel pose as our back bend today, but no worries in coming super deep into the pose at all. We're really just kind of dabble in the pose today. You may want to roll up your mat so you have a little more comfort to stand on. Also, if you are unfamiliar with this pose or you feel like back bends are not your favorite thing or the easiest thing for your body, go ahead and tuck your toes here. So you lift your heels up a little higher to yourself. And then take your hands to your low back. Some folks like to turn their fingers down. Some people feel it feels more natural to turn their fingers up. I'll let you decide. Wherever you are, though, with your hands, try to squeeze your elbows towards each other behind your back. Before we do any of the back bending, I want you to actually think about your quads. Keeping the quads engaged, keeping the belly engaged, keeping the glutes engaged. So you want to actually keep those hips over the knees, even though we'll be bending. It's not also a lean back. It's really just a mid and upper back bend. So from the hips down, we're really, really strong. We are not letting those kind of get really flexible and loose. So with all of that said, drop your head back and start to feel that same sense we take in standing back bends of lifting the chest away, 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 pushing the hips forward. You could choose to stay here. This is camel. Or you could choose to reach one hand to the ankle. If that feels okay, maybe the other hand to the ankle. This is also camel. Take a deep breath in, push the hips forward. Deep breath out. One more round of breath. And then slowly lift your torso up. Untuck your toes and take a moment to just sit on your heels. Let your hands rest on your legs. Close your eyes. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Slowly open the eyes. If you rolled your mat up, unravel it, and we'll come onto our backs. You can come onto your back in any way that feels good to you. And we'll come into figure 4 today as our hip opener. Right foot over left thigh, opening that knee out. If you feel sensation here, don't feel compelled to wrap your hands around your left leg. If you don't feel sensation in the right hip, then that's where you really do want to use those hands. And I invite you to move this shape around however you want to and just explore that right hip in particular. We have a few more breaths here. And then switching sides, left foot over right thigh. Again, if there's sensation without hands, maybe you stay here. If there's not much sensation, you use those hands and you find that sense of half pigeon, because this is half pigeon in a different form. And taking time to explore the stretch and the shape on your own. All right, we'll come on back. Happy baby. That's the knees outside of the hips, the feet to the ceiling. If it's hard to grab your feet, you're grabbing your shins instead. Pulling down with the hands, pushing up with the feet, and feel free to rock it out. And if you never make funny noises in class, one positive of all of this is that you can make all of your funny yoga noises at home. And maybe you have some pets that like to get involved in what you're doing. All right, yogis. Bring the soles of the feet together over the body, knees wide. If your low back is not on the ground, use this opportunity to press the feet to the groin and the back to the mat. And then just let the feet go. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Let the eyelids get heavy. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then you can decide if this is how you want to end practice. You can stay here. Or you can extend the limbs like a more traditional Shavasana. And remembering that your Shavasana is your final release. So you're letting go, of course, of any engagement in the body, but also engagement of the mind, that focus you have to have for balancing, and letting go of that very controlled breath. Slowly start to move a little bit. Maybe it's just the fingers and toes. And eventually you let that movement get really long. Since we didn't wake up that long ago, good morning stretch is still really applicable. So you may stretch your fingers away from your toes, and then maybe you kind of climb one side of the body higher than the other, and then switching sides. And from here, you'll roll onto one hip or the other, taking a moment in this fetal position to just tuck in. If you did set an intention, return to what that was and make that decision if it's the intention you want for your day or for your weekend, or if there's something else. And if you didn't set an intention, you can set one for your day. From here, we'll make our way to a comfortable seat. Just like the beginning of class, you can sit however feels good to you. We'll let the hands rest or bring them to prayer. And we'll finish off with just one more really long, our longest, deepest breath yet. Bowing the chin to the chest. Deep, full breath in. Big breath out, let go. The light and teacher in me sees and honors the light and teacher in all of you.